Before you can begin using the equipment maintenance module of Easy Maintenance to track and control maintenance for your equipment, you must first set it up. To begin setting up the equipment maintenance module, click on the Setup button at the Easy Maintenance main menu. After clicking on the Setup button, a window will appear with several buttons. The Setup section of the equipment module of Easy Maintenance is where you enter data which you will use later to specify the maintenance requirements for the equipment that you enter into the program. Each of the buttons in this window represents an area where you enter data into the Setup section. In this section of the video tutorial, we'll cover all of the areas of the Setup section for the equipment maintenance module. Equipment names, which are general names for equipment which you'll choose from when entering new equipment into the program. Equipment classifications, which are names of groups that you can assign to your pieces of equipment to aid you in categorizing them. Maintenance types, which are names that you give to scheduled recurring maintenance events. The materials which you'll use in equipment maintenance. The replacement parts which you'll use in equipment maintenance. Operations, which are names and descriptions of the operations that you perform in maintenance events. Maintenance profiles, which are complete maintenance schedules which you can assign to your equipment. First, we'll demonstrate how to enter equipment names into Easy Maintenance. To begin, first click on the Equipment Names button. This opens up a window into which you can enter the equipment names. Again, equipment names are general names for equipment which you choose from when entering new equipment into the program. Just to clarify, the equipment name does not uniquely identify a piece of equipment in the program. It just lets the user know what kind of equipment it is. For example, in this window you can see that we've already entered computer, drill press, sprinkler, milling machine, etc., all of which are equipment names. To demonstrate where the equipment names are used, here is the window at which you enter a new piece of equipment. As you can see, here you have to choose the equipment name for the piece of equipment. Also notice that the only equipment names that are available are those which you've already entered into Setup. For information on how to enter equipment into Easy Maintenance, see video 2.2, Entering, Editing, and Deleting Your Equipment. To enter a new equipment name, just click on the New button. A new blank space will appear in the list. Just click in the blank space and type in the new equipment name and then hit the Return key. To edit one of the equipment names, simply click on one and then type to make the desired changes. If you'd like to delete an existing equipment name, select the one you'd like to delete by clicking on it with your mouse and then clicking on the Delete button. You can also print out a list of all the currently entered equipment names by clicking on the Print button. When you're finished working with equipment names, click on the OK button to exit and accept all of the changes you made. If you want to exit and discard all of the changes you made, then click on the Cancel button. To enter equipment classifications, first click on the Equipment Classifications button. This opens up a window into which you can enter the equipment classifications. Again, equipment classifications are names of groups that you can assign to your pieces of equipment to aid you in categorizing them. For example, in this window you can see that we've already entered Office, Factory, Warehouse, and Customer Area, all of which are equipment classifications. All of these equipment classifications can then be used to categorize your equipment. To demonstrate where the equipment classifications are used, here is the window at which you enter a new piece of equipment. As you can see, here you have to choose the equipment classification for the piece of equipment. Also notice that the only equipment classifications that are available are those which you've already entered into Setup. Just as when entering equipment names, you can use the New button to enter a new equipment classification, you can edit existing equipment classifications, you can use the Delete button to delete equipment classifications, and you can use the Print button to print a list of all the classifications you've already entered. Click on the OK button to save all of your changes, or click on the Cancel button to exit from this window and discard any changes you've made. Next, we'll discuss how to enter maintenance types into the Equipment Maintenance Setup section. To enter maintenance types, first click on the Maintenance Types button. This opens up a window into which you can enter the maintenance types. Again, maintenance types are names that you give to scheduled recurring maintenance events. For example, here you can see we've entered annual, quarterly, daily, and 30-day in the list of maintenance types. Later in this section of the tutorial, we'll show you how maintenance types are important in building maintenance profiles. Again, the New and Delete buttons function as previously described, and you can print a list of all the maintenance types by clicking on the Print button, and edit a maintenance type by clicking on one and then typing to make the desired change. Click on the OK button to save all of your changes, or click on the Cancel button to exit from this window and discard any changes you've made. Now we'll discuss how to enter the materials you use in equipment maintenance into Easy Maintenance. First, however, we should explain what the word material means in Easy Maintenance. The word material means something that is used up during the course of a maintenance event and that needs to be deducted from inventory. Good examples of materials are things like motor oil, coolant, or paint. Things like tools or major engine components should not be treated as materials in Easy Maintenance. Tools are used over and over again, and major engine components are more appropriately treated like replacement parts. They're regularly inspected and replaced only when necessary. We'll discuss replacement parts in this video after we're finished with materials. To start entering materials for equipment maintenance, first click on the Materials button. This will open up a window called the Equipment Materials window, which shows you all of the materials you have in your inventory that are being designated as being used in equipment maintenance. In other words, the list of items shown here is a subset of all your inventory, or just the items that are used in equipment maintenance. To demonstrate, here is the main inventory screen, which shows all of the items that you have in your inventory. The Equipment Materials window only shows you the items listed here that are designated as being used in equipment maintenance as materials. Later in this tutorial video, we'll show you how this designation is made. As you can see in the Equipment Materials window, each material listed has the material number, which uniquely identifies it, as well as the name of the material. To enter a new material, click on the New button. This will open up the New Inventory Information window, where you enter the information about the new material. As you can see, the inventory type and Equip or Vehicle drop-down boxes are automatically filled in with material and equipment respectively. This is what designates a material as being one used in equipment maintenance. However, a description of the rest of the data items in this window is out of the scope of this section of the video tutorial. For a full explanation on how to enter inventory items into Easy Maintenance, please see video 4.1, Tracking and Controlling Your Inventory. For now, we'll click on the Cancel button to return to the Equipment Materials window. In addition to entering new equipment materials, you can also edit and delete materials from this list by clicking on a material to select it, and then clicking on the Edit and Delete buttons, respectively. Clicking on the Print button will create a printout of all of your equipment materials. When you're finished working with equipment materials, then click on the OK button. You can also enter all of the replacement parts which you use in equipment maintenance through the Equipment Module setup. First, however, we should explain what the word part means in Easy Maintenance. In Easy Maintenance, a part is a component of a piece of equipment that may need to be replaced, and you have a stock of replacement parts in your inventory. Good examples of items that should be treated as replacement parts in Easy Maintenance are entire engines, transmissions, fuel pumps, etc. Contrast this with materials, which are used up during the course of a maintenance event and that needs to be deducted from inventory. To start entering replacement parts for equipment maintenance, first click on the Parts button. This will open up a window called the Equipment Parts window, which shows you all of the parts you have in your inventory that are designated as being used in equipment maintenance. In other words, the list of items shown here is a subset of all of your inventory, or just the items that are used in equipment maintenance as replacement parts. As you can see in the Equipment Parts window, each part listed has the part number, which uniquely identifies it, as well as the name of the part. To enter a new part, click on the New button. This will open up the New Inventory Information window, where you enter the information about the new part. As you can see, the inventory type and equip or vehicle drop-down boxes are automatically filled in with replacement part and equipment respectively. This is what designates a part as being one used in equipment maintenance. As we explained earlier, a description of the rest of the data items in this window is out of the scope of this section of the video tutorial. For a full explanation on how to enter inventory items into Easy Maintenance, please see video 4.1 Tracking and Controlling Your Inventory. For now, we'll click on the Cancel button to return to the Equipment Parts window. In addition to entering new equipment parts, you can also edit and delete parts from this list by clicking on a part to select it and then clicking on the Edit and Delete buttons respectively. Clicking on the Print button will create a printout of all of your equipment parts. When you're finished working with equipment parts, then click on the OK button. Now we'll explain how to enter the equipment maintenance operations into Easy Maintenance. As explained earlier, operations are names and descriptions of the operations that you perform in maintenance events. To enter new operations for equipment maintenance into Easy Maintenance, click on the Operations button. This opens up a window into which you can enter the operations. Notice that all of the operations that have been previously entered are displayed in this window. Each operation consists of both the name of the operation and a detailed description of what the operation consists of, although the detailed description is optional. Under the Operation Description column, you'll notice that for each operation, the word Memo appears. If the word Memo corresponding with an operation is a letter M in uppercase, that means that operation has a detailed description entered for it. If the M is in lowercase, that means the operation does not have a detailed description. It is recommended that all operations be given a detailed description so that the operations as printed on the work orders produced by Easy Maintenance are clear. Later in this video tutorial, we'll show how operations are used in building maintenance profiles. To enter a new equipment maintenance operation, click on the New button. This will create a new blank line at the bottom of the list of operations. Click in the blank field here and type the name of the operation. Notice that Memo has a lowercase m because a description has not yet been entered. To enter the description, double-click on Memo. This will open up a window into which you can type the detailed description for the operation. When you're finished entering the description, just click on the Close button. Notice that the M in Memo is now in uppercase to indicate that a description has been entered. You can also edit operations. You can edit both the name of the operation and the description. To edit the name of an operation, simply click on it and type to make the desired changes. To edit its description, double-click on Memo. This will open up the window in which you enter the description. Just type to make your changes to the description and then click on the Close button. You can also delete operations by selecting the operation by clicking on it and then clicking on the Delete button. You can also print a list of operations by clicking on the Print button. This will generate a printout showing all of the equipment maintenance operations with their corresponding descriptions. When you've finished working with equipment maintenance operations, click on the OK button. Lastly, we'll demonstrate how to enter maintenance profiles into Easy Maintenance. As explained earlier, maintenance profiles are complete maintenance schedules, which you can assign to your equipment. To clarify, a maintenance profile is not meant for one specific concrete piece of equipment per se. Rather, it is meant for one or more pieces of equipment all sharing the same maintenance requirements. The power of maintenance profiles in Easy Maintenance comes from the fact that when you enter several pieces of equipment into Easy Maintenance that all have the same maintenance requirements, you only have to apply the same maintenance profile to each of them when entering into Easy Maintenance, instead of having to manually enter those maintenance requirements over and over again for each one. Each time you enter a new piece of equipment into Easy Maintenance, you must select the maintenance profile that contains a description of the maintenance for that piece of equipment. Therefore, before you enter any pieces of equipment into Easy Maintenance, you must create at least one maintenance profile. To demonstrate how maintenance profiles are assigned, here is the window at which you enter a new piece of equipment. As you can see, here you have to choose the maintenance profile for that piece of equipment. The maintenance profile is chosen from a list of those which you've already entered into the Equipment Maintenance Module setup. The following graphic displays the structure of a maintenance profile. As you can see, a maintenance profile can be decomposed into one or more maintenance types, which are performed at periods specified by you, such as 30 days or 3,000 hours of usage. Furthermore, each maintenance type can be broken down into the specific steps or operations needed to complete the maintenance, the materials that are performed in the maintenance, and the replacement parts that might be needed. To begin creating equipment maintenance profiles, first click on the Maintenance Profiles button. This will open up a window which lists all of the equipment maintenance profiles you've entered so far. If you know the name of a particular maintenance profile and you want to locate it, you can use the box at the top of the window to search for it. Just type in the name of the maintenance profile in the box. Notice that Easy Maintenance will start suggesting possible matches as you type. Click again on what you've typed to confirm a suggestion. Once you've entered the maintenance profile you're searching for, click on the Locate button. To create a new equipment maintenance profile, click on the New button. This will open up a window into which you enter the details about the new equipment maintenance profile. First, type the name of the new maintenance profile into the Profile Name field. Then, enter a description of the maintenance profile into the Description field. After you've done this, now we need to add the maintenance types that compose the maintenance profile. By way of example, let's say that we want to create a maintenance profile for forklift maintenance that consists of two maintenance types, a type of maintenance that must be done daily, and another type that must be done every 90 days. The daily maintenance consists of checking tire pressure, lubricating the lift assembly, and checking an onboard propane tank and replacing if necessary. The 90-day maintenance consists of changing the engine oil and inspecting the pallet blade and replacing it if necessary. So at this screen, we will need to add two maintenance types, one for the daily maintenance and another for the 90-day maintenance. To add a maintenance type, click on the New Detail button. This will take you to the Maintenance Profile Detail screen. First, we'll add the daily maintenance type. So we'll select Daily from the Maintenance Type drop-down list. Now, where it says According to elapsed time, type 1 in the box because we want this maintenance type to be performed daily. Where it says According to usage, type 8 so that this maintenance is performed every 8 hours of use. The maintenance type will then be performed every day or every 8 hours, whichever comes first. You can also type any comments you'd like to add into the Comments field. Now we need to add the materials used in the maintenance type, the operations or steps to carry out the maintenance, and the replacement parts. In this maintenance, the only material we need is 1 can of lubricant that we use to grease the lift assembly. To add the can of lubricant, click on the New button. In the drop-down list here, find the item number for the lubricant and click on it. Notice that the material name shows up to the right. Then enter a quantity of 1. Also, if you need to delete materials here, you can just select the material by clicking on it and then clicking on the Delete button. Now we need to add the 3 operations or steps involved in completing this maintenance. To add these operations, click on the Operations tab. Click on the New button to add the first operation. Since this is the first step in the sequence, type a 1 into the sequence number field. Then select the operation, which in this case is check tire pressure from the drop-down list here. Then repeat this procedure for the next 2 steps. Again, you can also delete operations from the list by clicking on them and then clicking on the Delete button. Finally, you add the replacement parts to the maintenance. Click on the New button to add a part to the list. Since we're adding a propane tank to the list of replacement parts, select the item number for the propane tank. Again, you can also delete parts from the list by clicking on them and then clicking on the Delete button. Once you've finished adding all of the information to the maintenance type, then click on the OK button to save. Of course, you can also use the Cancel button if you've changed your mind and no longer want to add the maintenance type. Back at the Maintenance Profile screen, we can add the second maintenance type to complete the maintenance profile. We'll click on New Detail to add the second maintenance type. Then we'll select 90-day here and enter 90 for the number of days and 720 for the number of usage hours. We'll add 4 quarts of oil for the materials and add the operations involved, and then add the replacement parts. Now the maintenance profile is complete, and we'll click the OK button to finish. Now we've completed our maintenance profile. You can also use the Edit Detail button to change any details of a maintenance type you've added. Just select one of the maintenance types by clicking on it, and then click on the Edit Detail button. Here you can edit any of the details about the maintenance type, including the frequency at which it occurs, the materials, operations, and replacement parts in it. When you're finished making any changes, click on the OK button to save your changes, or click on the Cancel button to cancel and discard any changes you've made. You can also delete a maintenance type that you've entered by selecting it by clicking on it and then clicking on the Delete Line button. When you're finished entering the maintenance profile, click on the OK button or click on the Cancel button to cancel and discard anything you've entered so far. Now you can also edit existing equipment maintenance profiles. To do this, select one of the maintenance profiles by clicking on it and then click on the Edit button. Here you can add new maintenance types to the profile or edit and delete existing ones. Click OK when you've finished making your changes, or click on the Cancel button to exit without saving any changes. You can also delete maintenance profiles. To do this, select one of the maintenance profiles by clicking on it and then click on the Delete button. Lastly, to print a list of all the maintenance profiles you've entered, click on the Print List button.